Narendra Modi recently asked everyone to work 70 hours a week.
There is no Rohit Sharma, Chhetri, or there is no Narendra Modi, or there is no leader who does not work 70 hours a day.
When Sam Altman visited India and he said Indians can't build something like ChatGPT, and you said challenge accepted.
We have done it in less than $5 million. What I have to thank Sam Altman for is that he got me so interested. On my birthday on December 19th, I would deliver you at least a couple of LLMs. How many edtechs were there?
Upgrade, Byju's.
No, Byju you won't like to remember.
Yeah.
Byju is what you would like to forget.
I think the meetings will also be taken on your behalf by your AI agent, I think, in the future.
I hope not, because I enjoy being in the meetings face to face. I hope they don't eat my dinner because I enjoy my dinner.
But do you think the investment is good enough when it comes to deep tech in India?
When you launched a Chandrayaan, what was the cost?
It's very less.
Right?
Yeah.
Frugal. Jugaad. I am here to help fix the issues. Nothing annoys me.
Welcome to MachineCon 2024. Today I have with me a guest who does not need any introduction. It's Sir CP Gurnani, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm very, very happy. Very, very energized to see the kind of leaders who have got together here to discuss enterprise of the future, role of AI, role of LLMs, and obviously nothing happens without the data and analytics.
And what are you looking forward to the most in this conference today?
For all of us, there's one fundamental question. Enterprises are adopting to CQ, which is a collaboration. Number two, to the digital quotient, which is the DQ. And number third is the IQ, which is, for all want of better words, not only the intelligence of the tools, but also the intelligence of a human being. The question for all of us is, how are we balancing AI, data sciences with a human touch, and are we really working beyond ChatGPT 4 or beyond ChatGPT 5? So this is going to be as much a learning experience and as much as a sharing for me.
So because when Sam Altman visited India and he said Indians can't build something like ChatGPT, and you said challenge accepted. So how is that going when it comes to AI on OS as well?
Two parts after the Sam Altman challenge. Number one is my erstwhile Chief Innovation Officer, Nikhil Malhotra, said, CP, now that you have taken the challenge, we will deliver. And we brainstormed. What would that LLM look like? Then we realized the fundamental need for the hour is Indian languages. So the phase one, we decided we are going to build on an Indian language LLM with minimum 37 dialects. So we did a beta release on my birthday on the date of the farewell on 19th December, but obviously it was a beta release.
Yeah.
The commercial release has now happened, 6 months later.
Yeah.
What I'm particularly proud of is that we have done it in less than $5 million.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm also proud of that one of the publications said there are 7 companies in India which will deliver India LLMs, while there were companies like Tata, Nvidia, there were companies like Croton on that list. I was proud to see Project Indust being on that list. And I have to thank Nikhil and his team. I have to thank the Tech Mahindra leadership for delivering what I promised on their behalf. So that's my point number one. Point number two is that I have to thank Sam Altman for is that he got me so interested in
Yeah.
AI that I ended up doing a joint venture with Rahul Bhatia. Rahul is
Yeah.
of Interglobe / Indigo, is the majority, super majority owner. But the reality is, we are excited. Hopefully, you will see travel, logistics, hotels, and transportation dedicated LLMs as we go along from my new venture called AI on OS.
And how is that going? Like, how is the work going at AI on OS?
I launched that company on April 23rd, and I promise you, on my birthday on December 19th, I would deliver you at least a couple of LLMs.
Okay, so is it going to be working separately from Project Indus, or is it going to be part of it?
No, Project Indus is a Tech Mahindra initiative.
Yeah.
AI on us is the new co, which has been formed between Interglobe and my family office called Asago.
Yeah.
And AI on us is a separate initiative.
So apart from this, what do you think was your biggest achievement at Tech Mahindra?
I think it has never been my achievement. It is the achievement of the leaders. It is an achievement of 160,000 people lending their shoulders so that I could stand tall on their shoulders.
Yeah.
So if it is a collective achievement of creating an organization of 160,000 people and making it a global powerhouse, and that's what I think is a collective achievement.
And do you think, like, when there are competitors like TCS, Infosys, they're also working on generative AI initiatives. Do you think Tech Mahindra is actually taking the lead now?
There is no human being, including you, who is not working on Gen AI.
Yeah.
The reality is that you probably framed these questions by asking Gen AI.
No, no.
Or if you didn't, then you should have, because Gen AI would have helped you.
Definitely.
So my point is, whether you are a creative personnel or whether you are a student or a politician or a journalist, you can take help from Chat GPT or generative AI. And I think it is just a matter of time where not only the generative AI becomes part of your life, I am actually more convinced that the faster adoption will be agent AI. That each one of us will have an AI avatar, and that AI avatar knows you and me so well that they are going to analyze the business, analyze the rule engines, and also support you and I becoming more productive, more efficient.
I think the meetings will also be taken on your behalf by your AI agent, I think, in the future.
I hope not, because I enjoy being in the meetings face to face. I hope they don't eat my dinner because I enjoy my dinner.
So what do you think about all these startups that you just mentioned? Krutrim is there and Sarvam AI is also there. Do you think they are moving in the right direction when it comes to building Indic LLMs?
Ultimately, all startups have very good intent. All startups are representation of what the gaps in the offerings in the market are. So I always say there are three types of newcos. Number one is who look at a particular process or a particular industry and say they can do it better. You've been drinking chai, even when Mr. Modi served chai. But some guy came up and he said, I am the chai wala. He said, I am a chai wala MBA. And he built a business out of it. Right? Similarly, somebody came in and said, I'll create a marketplace. He created what is called a Flipkart. Then there is a third part, which is deep tech. I think there is a lot of good work happening in deep tech. And, how they eventually differentiate themselves, how they eventually lead the race, a lot of that will depend on, their own strategies, their own vision, their own execution, their own capability to change the way we work. Look at your edtech world. How many edtechs were there?
A lot of them.
And today you have how many of them? Can you remember? Upgrad?
Upgrade, Byju's, maybe.
No, Baiju you won't like to remember.
Yeah.
Baiju is what you would like to forget.
Okay.
So every industry has got a winners and a few losers.
Yeah.
So I don't know. These all seven, the one that we just spoke about, they look very good.
But do you think the investment is good enough when it comes to deep tech in India? Like you just said, it's just 5 million that Project Indus raised for working on the model. Whereas in US and Europe, there are like billions of funding.
The leadership at ISRO Bangalore, when they launched the mission to the Mars, what was the cost?
It's very less.
Right?
Yeah.
Frugal, innovation, Jugaad. All those words were available to you.
Yeah.
Take a step forward. NASA used to spend billions of dollars. What does a SpaceX cost you? $300, $400 million.
Yeah.
Who? Because there was a leader who was willing to challenge status quo. So I have never ever believed that funding is the reason why you and I succeed or not succeed. I mean, you need bare minimum to be able to do it. Your product has to succeed. Your people have to believe in you. And there's so much more.
Who do you think is then the Elon Musk of India, like SpaceX? You mentioned Sam Altman of India, basically.
You know, that's a difficult question, but I think I'm going to hazard a guess out here. When you go to IIT Madras, you find this IIT hub out there, the innovation hub, which is led by a gentleman called Ashok Jhunjhunwala.
Yeah.
Now, Ashok Jhunjhunwala has practically zero funds, but you walk across the whole of IIT campus,
Yeah.
and you say, listen, amazing work happening here. There was a space launch pad designed and built in India. There is an EV charging stations designed and built in India. There's a wheelchair, designed and built in India. EV vertical takeoff drones or helicopters, whatever you want to call them, designed and built in India. Now, I'm giving credit to Ashok Jhunjhunwala because he leverages the power of people. I met another gentleman in IIT Chennai. My good friend Krish Gopala Krishnan is funding that research center called Brain Research Center.
Yeah.
There is a expat who returned to India, Mohan.
Yeah.
The amount of work that is happening on a paltry sum of about 30 crores a year, amount of capex, the way they're designing equipment, the way they're crafting the equipment, and the way they're working on future of all these Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and all the known diseases. Remember that 1.6 or 1.3 liters of brain is the least research subject in the world. So we have a lot. I mean, you come across the rural entrepreneurship and you come across some of these serious scientists. So obviously everybody has saluted ISRO, but I think there is a lot more that is happening on the grassroots level.
So when it comes to research and all, we always go to IITs and NITs and all these things. Do you think there's enough research happening at the other universities, like the smaller universities? And how can we foster that if it's happening?
Difficult question, Mr. Pandey. Reason is very simple. There is fundamental research. For that, you need to have a fundamental equipment or fundamental objectives. Like, for example, I gave you the Brain Research Center example. Brain Research Center, the people have come from different walks of life. They are not IIT grads who are working. They were about, 30, 40, 50 engineers. They were not from IITs. There were few from IITs. Now, should that be happening in Galgotia University in Noida? Maybe it is happening. I am not aware of it. Because most of our research competitions are built around, how to make a racing car. When I was a student, they were building racing cars. When I still go to some of these colleges, they are still building racing cars. So I don't know. Maybe that is happening. But it is impossible that our DNA of frugal innovation is not being replicated at every level.
what annoys you the most when it comes to the Indian tech ecosystem?
Maybe I'm so positive in life that nothing annoys me other than sitting in an airline where the next guy wants to watch his Netflix without putting the earbuds. I am not the guy who gets annoyed. I am here to help fix the issues. Nothing annoys me.
Narendra Modi recently asked everyone to work 70 hours a week. And you replied with work for 40 hours for yourself and 30 hours for your office. Are you sticking with that, or is there anything else you would like to give a message to the youth?
I genuinely believe that there is no Rohit Sharma, or there is no Chhetri, or there is no Narendra Modi, or there is no leader who does not work 70 hours a day. Ultimately, we are talking 10 hours into 7 days.
Yeah.
Trust me, either it will become 12 into 6 or 13 into 5. But generally, I have rarely ever come across somebody, whoever is successful in life, who doesn't work 10 plus hours a day. So I was honestly very tempted to give this as a reply. Then I said, maybe my corporate communication will become unhappy.
Yeah.
So, and I wanted to give them an example. Tell me one sportsman, even if it is your son or your sister or your daughter, who has not got up at 4:30, 5 a.m. in the morning and hit the stadium, then gone to the classroom, then come back, slept for an hour, then again went for a practice, then studied, and then gone next day morning again at 5 o'clock. Give me one sportsman. Give me one successful person. So I would have given that answer. I just broke it into 40 plus 30 to, say what traditional people consider as work. Make it 40 hours, but 30 hours, make it as self-development or something equivalent.
So in the end, what message would you want to give to the youth of India working in tech?
Stay relevant. Industry is changing very fast. Do not assume that your degree is sufficient for you to remain either employed or remain as an entrepreneur. And we all learn those lessons when we see businesses failing.
Yeah.
Because you've not been relevant. You're not understanding. Keep with the fundamentals. And number 2 is stay relevant.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you, Panditji. Thank you.